Kato. Now, there have been reports that anti-malaria drugs in the country are not safe for human use or fake, prompting concern about what is being done. So, we sought the view of the National Drug Authority spokesperson, ABIAZ RWAMWIRI, on the matter. Good afternoon to you, ABIAZ, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and good afternoon, the viewers of NTV.
So, has the National Drug Authority been able to look into this matter? If yes, what is the situation like?
We got concerned by the media reports, to be specific, a week ago, that we are quoting a publication of researchers from Makerere who claim to have done a study and found that 19% of our anti-malarials on the market are fake. We, as National Drug Authority, our pharmaceutical analysts looked at that publication or the report of the study, and we found glaring gaps and errors.
Okay.
And as a regulator, when we find such a study, of course it attracts our attention. We want to use science to better our regulatory action. But that specific study had so many gaps, glaring gaps and errors.
Which are?
One, for example, they claim that the researchers claim to have used the US pharmacopoeia to analyze this,
the drug.
The two sample drugs they were looking at. But the US pharmacopoeia, this is, you know, a publication that lists medicinal drugs and their testing methods. But unfortunately, that pharmacopoeia does not have those two drugs they were testing.
Which drugs are these we're talking about?
We are talking about even for the protection of these products. We shouldn't even mention them, but they're actually being highlighted in there. There are two anti-malarials, but the US pharmacopoeia does not have them listed, and even their methods are not there. So it clearly shows that someone is picking, copying and pasting some study wherever they picked it from and pasting it here. So it's not only that. They picked samples, just 74 samples from 4 districts out of 135 districts in Uganda, and that's what they want us to rely on to make a regulatory action. But that's not even more important. What is more important that they picked samples, these 74 samples, kept them some for up to a year in a condition we cannot even guarantee, and maybe their samples could have gone wrong, could have been, their quality could have deteriorated while being kept in a condition that is not even certified by National Drug Authority.
So that could be one of the issues.
That could be one of the issues.
Why it is resistant?
No. Why they got a wrong
diagnosis,
a wrong result. What we are looking at now is that their results are not reliable now. But that's not even important as National Drug Authority.
As National Drug Authority, are you saying that the drugs are effective?
We have systems that guarantee that the drugs we release on the market are safe. And these two anti-malarials, like others, we have systems that monitor them. But before even we monitor them, we have what we call mandatory testing before release. So when these drugs are coming into the country, the moment they reach at the airport or at the port of entry, we pick samples. We pick samples from each of the batches and run them into our laboratory. The ones that fail are not released.
But then there are concerns,
now,
Mr. ABIAZ.
Before we get there, when we release them, we also have a system of post-release monitoring where we send our teams. We have an international standardized monitoring system, what we call post-market surveillance. We go and collect samples because these are high-risk drugs.
Mr. ABIAZ, I'm afraid...
And we bring them onto our lab and test them.
I'm afraid time is not on our side, but as we conclude this conversation, their concern here is that the drugs are not working and people are not, getting cured even after taking the medication. What is going on? What could be the problem? The National Drug Authority is saying they're effective, but there are concerns from the public it's not working.
A good drug can and may fail to work if not used right. We know the biggest challenge we have as a country is paying out of pocket. And that means that most people, because they don't have enough money, they don't first do diagnosis. They don't want to first see a doctor.
Okay.
And what they do is self-medication. They are treating a fever, which they think is malaria, could be an infection. And of course, anti-malarials are not designed to treat an infection.
Okay.
But also, the drug can also deteriorate depending on how it is kept. Now, we are challenging ourselves as government to make sure that government hospitals and clinics have systems that make sure that these drugs are kept well throughout their shelf life.
All right.
But also, this should bring in a discussion of where do we want to be as a country. Are we going to have health insurance as one of the means to take away the pressure from people paying out of pocket, so that people first get a diagnosis before they go into treatment? But as where we sit, the drugs which they were even quoting, some of the samples were picked 2-3 weeks ago, and they all passed. All
right. Thank you, ABIAZ RWAMWIRI. He's the spokesperson for the National Drug Authority, getting to address concerns about the so-called fake drugs on the market.